thinking about the decisions you're making, thinking about where you want to end up and what you want to be doing, and trying to make decisions that get you there. I myself know, so I spent the first probably 13 years of my life in Lower Hutt, and then when it came to high school, moved into the city and went to Wellington College. My great-granddad went there, my granddad went there, my dad went there, and all of my brothers went there. So it was a really important part of our tradition. To be honest, it wasn't the school I wanted to go to, and then there was the other classes. My brothers both ended up in the top class. I ended up in the middle class. As being the youngest brother, I was obviously a little embarrassed. I've always tried to work really hard at school. I was okay, but clearly didn't make top class. That didn't matter in the end, so we'll come back to that later. Finishing college, or what you guys call as high school, so about the same age as you are now. I say that although I didn't necessarily follow my friends, I didn't do what was looked as best by going to the more prestigious universities. I was able to get a job which really set me up for my next career. So I stayed with KPMG while I was studying for about 2 more years until I finished my degree, and then I started with them full-time. I stayed in Wellington with them for about another year until I decided it was time to move to Auckland. So again, Auckland is the largest city in New Zealand. Again, this is where I thought, okay, so private business and family businesses in New Zealand operated out of Auckland. So to get experience working with those businesses, Auckland was the place I needed to go. So while I thought Wellington was right for me at first, and it was, I had to make a move, and that's okay. So I stayed with KPMG in Auckland for about another year until another move came along, PwC. Again, another big firm, similar but slightly different, also have a firm here in Jakarta. I'd originally decided at university that I didn't want to work with PwC. It just wasn't the right fit for me at the time. About 4 years after that, when they reached out to me about a job they had going, my grandparents running a shop, making jewellery, making teacups and everything, and selling it out of their shop. From Generation 5, when my dad got involved, by that point we had moved up into Wellington, one of the major cities, and he really changed what we do quite a lot. We still focus on making our own jewellery, but we've really moved into becoming a luxury brand and a house for other luxury brands and a luxury retail experience. I moved down here. This is a few little shots of some of our stores. We've got 10 stores across New Zealand. 7 of them are in Auckland, which is the major city. 1 is in Wellington, 1 in Christchurch, and 1 in Queenstown. But at the time, moving into working with these brands was quite a risk. Rolex, which I'm sure you all know, is one of the most important brands we represent. When we first started working with them, it was a huge risk. But Dad could see where the world was heading, decided to work with them, and by working with Rolex, it allowed us to work with so many of the other companies that we represent. As much as we
I wanted to do, which university I wanted to go, my first goal is just to be there. It's just to be there and figure out later. And in order to get there, we will have to speak English. There's certain English tests that you have to do.
Or your brighter future, you need to, of course, do the hard work, commitment, and also persistence, perseverance, all of those things. They have proof that all that matters for your successful journey later, okay?
And we actually invested a lot into making very premium spaces for the brands that we represent. So much so that we now have 6 shops on the same street purely to have different environments. Yeah, that's just an example of we knew how we wanted to be different to the other regions, but that is the only way you'll progress. So when you're given a task that you don't know how to do or you think is out of your comfort zone, give it a shot don't always jump straight to asking someone how to do it. Try it yourself first, and then ask for, does this seem right, or is that correct? And pushing yourself to learn new skills is what I found the most difficult.
They give you a whole scenario exactly on how IELTS or TOEFL tests are going to be, and then you do it every time you have a class. So I think it's once or two times a week class for a month, and then they will teach you again at the end, and like a training test to see your so you can get your score. So challenge, and now being involved in Jack's family business. Mentally, I also want the business to do well. So I kind of want to push myself to grow and then do more to grow alongside Jack and his family. But no, still a lot more to learn. I like to go to the workshops for like gemstone and jewelry. We travel to Europe, for example, every year just to see the trend out there.